episode 8. We've made it, Ron, and you're healthy. We're not going to talk a lot about your health and what you're doing because we want to talk about a couple things today. We were going to do sound, but we're going to talk about sound next time because there's some issues on sound. I couldn't get you to get the MacBook out with ATR 2100, and you'll find that your sound is really excellent. But you have probably as good as light as anybody I know, but I can't say the same about the sound. The sound is unique because you've got so many different tools connected there.
It's the PC.
He's using a PC. I'm using a Mac. And we're using Skype, and you don't use Skype very much, but man, your audio or your video is so good. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to find a little tip too about how to monetize. But talking about lighting, why don't you lead off in lighting? So you just left. I'm teaching Ron to be a podcaster. He said, I don't know if I'll ever be a podcaster. So I'm filling in the gaps right now.
Actually, I said I probably would never do it.
At least he's doing 10 or 11 shows here for the demos, but this is a good example. And we could talk about that later. You got to really want to do something like podcasting, but it's got to have a reason. And a lot of people have become very wealthy in podcasting. Some people have met a lot of people. They've done it for a lot of different reasons, but you don't really have a reason. That's another show. Let's talk about lighting because your lighting is so good. So what do you do to get such good lighting?
Well, it's important to have, probably the most important thing with lighting is to control your lighting. Okay. Don't rely on outside ambient light or, other things. I mean, what you really want is to control your light. And the way you do that is you pick one color frequency, one color that you want to work with, the Kelvin temperature. I like daylight. So I have all of my bulbs are like around 6,000, 6,500, something like that. I have an overhead light. I don't know if you can see it. I have those are LED bulbs, daylight.
And at the end of this podcast for the vlog side, we're going to play that little video we shot the other day.
That's fine.
Top light, but you don't need it. It works well because your lights are up high enough where you're getting that glint. You want the shoulder light back in here. Now, for those on podcast listening, we're talking about, if you have light from above shooting down, you get some shine on the head. It's called the halo effect and on the shoulders. And that's nice. Yeah.
But you don't want too much. I think you've got too much light there right now.
I probably do. I need to work some adjustments. But that said, I do a good enough blue screen, and I'm doing a lot of screencasts right now. So we're really, this is going to be probably a little bit longer podcast than normal. We want to go on. That's the basic about lighting. Lighting is probably as important as anything for video, but of course for podcasting, it's nothing because people are listening to a podcast generally.
Another thing I can say about the lighting is that you don't need a lot of light. In fact, I find that when it's a little bit dimmer in general, that you get a little better. You don't get all the reflections, and if you have too much light in the room, everything starts reflecting light everywhere. It starts messing up things.
Well, for my green screen, that's why I use these backlights when we're using the green screen. And by the way, that's Ron's green screen. I took it over. It's a piece of silk. Not silk, but cloth I have up in the wall.
Yeah. What do they call it? I forgot what it's called. But yeah, you want to be able to control the brightness on your light. That's really important because if you get too much, then it will blow it out. And that's why I have 5 bulbs in each of these 2 lights here, okay? And I have 3 turned on over here and 2 over there.
Well, okay? Ron, you're peaking a little bit. I wanted to tell you that the whole thing, for the most part, you haven't, but you've peaked about 10 times.
Well, I'll bring the volume level down.
Not too much during the show because I'm going to do some adjustment. It's not critical.
About 4 dB, so hopefully that'll help a little bit.
The main thing I got to stick, and we're going to talk about sound next show. We'll pick out sound. Hey, with about 30, 40 seconds, you're well again. You're out of the net for like 3 to 4 weeks, a long time.
It was about 2.5 weeks, and then another half week to recover of just catching up and all that kind of stuff.
You're back working 3 days. I actually took a course from you. Took a day off Saturday, which was nice. Yeah,
it's actually good. I mean, I've been taking. I'm like making up for lost time because I've been up till 2 a.m. now. Just kind of.
You're rested, yeah. Don't.
Yeah, I'm firing on all cylinders again, which is nice.
That's good.
Next week I'm going to go to Phoenix, or actually no, Wednesday, heading to Phoenix. So
for
a Membarium implementation summit. Membarium is a really high-end plugin that goes between WordPress and Infusionsoft, and it's really a high-end membership platform. And so you can control pretty much anything. If you want somebody if they get finished with a lesson, then you can give them access to another course or another lesson, or you can give them access to some special bonus materials. There's a lot of cool things you can do with Membarium. Plus, you can issue them points, and when they reach a certain point level, Infusionsoft can trigger some things like gift cards or emails or whatever. So It's some really cool stuff.
And that's a good thing to lead us into the monetized tip. And the monetized tip would be on down the road, as you learn more about vlogging, podcasting, and different elements of what we're doing, is the idea of creating a small course. And we're going to probably do a demo course, aren't we? We just talked about that. And we'll finish up with that.
Yeah. I was going to say, the last piece, or the summit that I'm going to, the whole focus of that summit is how do you create a continuity income? How do you create a continuity program, meaning a residual passive income type program? So it's like cutting edge stuff, and that's a cool piece on my whole training system.
So you don't want to tell them about our demo little course we're going to probably put together. It's probably going to be about how to keep lawns green. What's the name of the site? you put the website up about 2 seconds.
Green Grass Secrets, I think.
Green Grass Secrets, yeah. It'll be fun. It's going to be a demo show for the Ron and Bill show to have hanging out there for the next step. Anyway, Ron, so when I get back, I'm leaving Cincinnati. My son's getting married. He's in the Coast Guard, a lieutenant. And I'm going to go to his wedding, and you'll be back. And what day are you getting back next week?
I'll probably do Sunday. Come back.
Okay, well, Monday, Tuesday, we'll put together a short one on sound, and you will get out I pulled out and gave him the ATR 2100 to use on his MacBook Pro, and you'll see how easy it is. All right. Stay on the line, Ron, and I'll cut off now. We'll say goodbye. You got to do the wave. So you can't see it on the podcast, but we're waving. So it's always fun. Ron is becoming a podcast. He'll go like nuts on this one day. No. Great for a podcast demo. Hi, this is Bill. We're going to go a little longer than normal because we're going to put in this footage we took with the iPhone 6. So you can hear the sound and sort of see it and sort of see more of Ron's office. He is a studier and a researcher to the nth degree. He's doing a lot of great things, and he does really well with his business. So just sort of see, you'll be able to learn more about Ron, basically.
So as far as lighting goes, you've got to make sure to have the same temperature of lights throughout. If you don't, you'll get a totally messed up video. You'll get yellow looking lights or whatever. This is daylight. If you look at the LED up there, that's kind of dimmed down. If I double tap it, it gives me full brightness.
It is LED. It's bottom line LED. Yeah.
Yep. And I can just turn it off. When you turn it off, it goes like this. But what I like is it's like a cheap way for me to get a hair light. You know, the top of your head lighting, which you have to get a little bit of definition. And then I have a couple of daylight lights here. I think I've got 2.
And you got natural light in this room too.
A little bit. I usually turn that off though. You want to control your lighting.
Yeah.
So I have, let's see.
That's true. You know, you should always just shut down everything and just use and you have good lighting.
So those are 3, 1, 2. Yeah. That's got 3 lights turned on, and this one has 2 lights turned on. And you can it has 5 bulbs in there.
What models are those? You know offhand?
This is what it looks like. You can see it's got good lighting, right? I mean, it's lit well.
Perfect lighting, I think.
But
that's the 920. Yeah, it's going to lag.
Now watch this. If I turn on, the backlight over here, now it's going to take a little while to warm up because it's one of those
older ones,
yeah. But it will come across as a very yellow light. In fact,
you still got your headlight here with your coming down from the top,
and that gives you the right colors.
Yeah, it's not
right.
Yeah,
but if I were to,
and you got a desk light here you can use for just working on the desk.
And as long as that light is out of the camera shot, it won't mess things up.
So it doesn't interfere. It's nice. That's really nice to have good light.
Okay. And for working, the little bit of yellowish, tungsten, lower frequency, like 4,000 or 3,000 type frequency type light, is a lot better for just working. This can get really harsh, okay? If you're trying to do work, it's really harsh. But you can see for camera, for video, it works great, okay? And you can see it's balanced left to right. If I were to open up all those things, the curtains, then it would totally mess things up.
So just talking about lighting, that's good. Just a short little lighting clip. I think we'll probably use a lighting clip. Just talk about lighting.
And I'll show you, once this thing warms up, it takes a few minutes for like a minute or 2 to warm up. But if you look at that, the color of that is...
It's warm.
Yes.
Why do you have warm light up there?
Because it's easier to work in. So I'll have that light on
for working, though. Yep. Yeah, not for...
And when I'm shooting video, I go to daylight. Okay, I have a little remote control.
Yeah, I have that same one. That's a little nice. It's a nice thing. Have a remote control. About $40 for the ZAP.
Well, I don't know about it.
It was 40 normally at 30, but you got it on a Black Friday. So
yeah, it was like $20.
I bought it right after I saw it. I blew out one of them because we hooked a heater to it.
Oh,
one of the
don't
controls.
do
Just use your lights.
Yeah.
But they still great. I mean, I use it all the time. My wife likes it too.
Yep. And then let's see, it's starting to warm up a little bit. Not yet, but it's starting. But if you look, if I take this light over here, see how yellow that looks in the, like you're right in front of it right now. Move yourself to the side. See the light? Okay. When this brightens up even more, okay, that thing will be really, it'll actually mess up.
You're changing the light tone.
It changes the automatic light
I can see it already.
sensor.
That's nice. Now you do have a little natural light coming in here.
A little bit, but I can turn it off.
Go turn the natural light off so we get full
Turn it off.
effect.
I usually have that off. Okay. And see, it's got good lighting, good balance. Okay. This covers a little bit on top. You see a little bit of shadow, right, from that, but not very much. And but if I turn this camera towards this, you see how it already shifted, how it made everything dark. See how everything changed in it. If I zoom out a little bit, which I'll do to show you what I'm talking about.
He used that traditional zoom from Logitech.
Okay. If I do this, now you're standing in front of the lights, it's affecting it. So if you move to the other side, okay, you see how the camera has already darkened everything, right? Plus it looks like a weird yellow light.
It's picking up that light. The camera's actually picking up the light.
If I move over here, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay, if I move over here, you see how it just changes everything?
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay, it makes a big difference.
It really, lighting's an art. It's art here. Now, if you turn that off, it'll come back, right?
If I turn it off, here, I'll turn off the big lighting, okay? So now, this is kind of just the overhead lighting, okay?
Which is not as...
But see how having that
Now
yellow
turn off
lighting
that
there?
light. Now turn off that and see what happens.
Okay.
Now we'll come back in.
No. Because you need lighting. You got to have light.
Well, you don't have any lights on right now.
I have the overhead light.
Okay.
If you turn off the overhead light, just flip the switch, just tap it once.
Okay. You don't have this hooked up. You could.
That's the switch, the other one next to it.
Tap it once.
Yep.
I think
Okay,
I
it's
tapped.
off. Yeah. So this is no lighting at all except my desk. See how red it looks?
You're getting a little...
Okay.
Oh, your desk light, yeah.
Now watch when I turn off the desk light. Okay. See how it changes?
Oh, yeah.
Lighting is really critical. If I turn
That's
on,
still not bad lighting. I've seen a lot of
But
lighting
a
get
lot of
that.
people
That's the ambient light coming
a lot of people
in.
make a mistake though. They open up their...
Well, the poor person's way is to use your
Right.
ambient light
But
initially.
now look how you get one-sided.
But the key is you have to look. You have
Yes.
to move the camera so it looks this way from the lighting.
Right.
No,
Well-
if you move this, if you turn it like this.
But then you're not. Then I'm not in front of my screen.
I know,
which
but that's
wanna
how it would work. That's how you'd set up. You'd set up your. Most people are going to use laptops, and even that's not great.
do. No. And because you can't control it. Okay.
But most people are going to be using laptops at this level, at this stage.
Okay. But to see how it's totally unbalanced.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, even if I turn this on, okay, it brings it up, but it's still more light over here. See that because of that lighting from the
Yeah.
outside.
So turn that back off, and let's turn. I'll turn the other light back on. We'll see what it looks like.
Lighting is really important. You know, it's more important than you realize. It's kind of like audio. It's more important than you realize.
Audio is most important, then lighting.
And then so
Well,
so
lighting
this
is
looks
part
good.
of the image.
So this gives me a little bit of overhead, right? And it gives me a little bit of the two sides. And if you want to, you can make one brighter than the other. Like I've got this a little bit brighter than this. But it's also a little further.
Hey, one little point. Notice how you have your 920 on a tripod. That's just so you can change the angle, play with it, as opposed to hanging it over the top. I hang mine over the top. I put it on a tripod. I just don't have.
I like
a big
this
desk.
because I'm always sitting. Somebody sitting next to me or whatever. I can just move it.
One thing you don't have is you don't have a desk that goes up and down.
Nope.
Standing desk. I
Nope.
like it. Then if you had a standing desk, all your lighting, everything would have to change too.
Yeah, and so would my back. So would my.
Well, it's good to stand
So would my
up.
muscles. So would my feet.
Stand up with a high seat is actually good.
Yeah.
Where you have your toes and you stretch out.
You can buy them.
That's enough.
ones
We
that
talk
stand
about.
out.
We'll talk about standing desks later, maybe.
But so it's nice I can put this guy on here, okay, and it doesn't really affect it at all, right? Because it's not in the view of the camera and it's not lighting anything. But it gives me a nice light to work with, you know?
It's good.
So lighting's important, it really is. More important than you realize.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ron and Bill Show at ronandbillshow.com. Appreciate if you go to iTunes and go a rating, a review. Always appreciated. If you want to keep the show going, if you like it, tell us. If you don't like it, if it's terrible, we'll shut it down. Whatever. Anyway, if you could, definitely go to the link here and subscribe. Let's see if I can get this link right. You know what? Or I could put it like, I'm going to go like this. Okay, watch. Go to this link right down here because I'm going to make the picture up here and put the link down below. And we'll make some more shows over here. Sound good? Well, we'll see.